Hey everyone, it's Candy. Another update just in time for you to set all your lineups for Fantasy Football Week 3. I've got my studs and duds, a few tidbits of information, and additional game day injury updates on my website. Check my website tomorrow before game time for live up-to-the-minute injury updates. Remember to follow me. My website's KandyKushModel.com and my Twitter is KandyKushFF. I'm part of Tenacity, and that website is gotenacity.com. A special shout out to James, the JG Tank, a loyal follower of mine here on YouTube. I love to play Black Ops. So just so you know, maybe we'll do some videos of me promoting Black Ops for you. Keep up the good work on your Black Ops channel. Kicking off with a few things I think we should keep an eye on heading into Week 3. Romo. Is he playing or not? Romo's got a fractured rib, a collapsed lung, and all sorts of sore. There have been reports that he won't miss the game, and I think if he can suit up and tough through it, he'll play. The second is Cam Newton. Is he Superman? Can this electrifying rookie put up the first back-to-back-to-back 3-game stretch of 400-yard passing games? He's playing the Jaguars, so it's possible, but I think he comes back to earth a little, maybe around 300 yards. Good to start through the week. Roddy White not being so rowdy. So far through the first 2 games of the season, Roddy White has seen 13 targets in one game and 4 in another. The game in which he received 4 against the Eagles in the victory, so it'll be interesting to see how Roddy continues to flow. My studs and duds. 5 to start and 5 to bench. Colt McCoy against the Dolphins. The Miami secondary is pathetic, especially against deadly passing teams. Plus, starting cornerback Vontae Davis is out this week for the Dolphins. I like McCoy to have a big game with bruising Peyton Hillis, keeping the defense honest. My projections would be 265 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. Santana Moss against the Cowboys. Dallas hasn't been so spectacular in the secondary, up front and with the blitzing. They have been splendid, but with coverage is lacking. I like Santana to break free at least a couple times with chances for big gains. My projections are 5 catches, 97 yards, and a touchdown. Ben Tate against the Saints. Tate stepped in last week after Foster started and powered it 23 times for 103 yards. His very first tote was a Foster-esque rumble into the Miami secondary for 15 yards, and he had 10 total plays, including receptions that went for 7 or more yards. I love Tate going forward, and I told you that Arian Foster was replaceable. My projections are 22 rushing, 107 yards, 3 catches, 15 yards, and 1 touchdown. AJ Green against the 49ers. Green should find room against the 49ers, who have been stout against the run, as they've given up 582 passing yards in their first 2 games, including 1 game versus the underwhelming Tavares Jackson and the Seahawks. Dalton may not be a model of fantasy consistency just yet, but the 6'4" Green remains his primary passing option. My projections are 7 catches, 91 yards, and a touchdown. Javid Best against the Vikings. Best is really starting to develop into the PPR star he can. He's earned 10 receptions over the first 2 games, and last week he put up touchdowns, both rushing and receiving. I like him to torch the slower Vikings defense. My projections are 16 rushes, 75 yards, 6 catches, 45 yards, and 1 touchdown. And the duds for this week. To bench these guys, definitely Eli Manning against the Eagles. He's playing a tough and talented Eagles secondary. He has only one option at wide receiver right now, and that is Hakeem Nicks. Manning is in for a rough game. Tim Hightower against the Cowboys. Hightower has been a quiet and steady success this year in Washington. However, the Cowboys are stout against the run, yielding under 60 yards per game. Little room for Hightower this week. Percy Harvin against the Lions. I don't like him against a solid Detroit defense. He's always not being utilized as he should be, not given too many chances. Lions play solid defense, so sit him. Cedric Benson against the 49ers. Benson's last game before he starts his suspension. The 49ers are a mess, but they play tough run defense. Don't look for big numbers from Benson this week. Sam Bradford against the Ravens. Bradford is down from his favorite receiver, Danny Amendola, and is facing an amped-up Ravens defense. Look for Bradford to be pressured often and get picked off by the ball-hawking Ed Reed. Time for my quick picks to win this week. I like New England over Buffalo, Cincinnati over San Francisco, Miami over Cleveland, Tennessee over Denver, Detroit over Minnesota, New York Giants over Philadelphia, Houston over New Orleans, Carolina over Jackson, New York Jets over Oakland, Baltimore over St. Louis, San Diego over Kansas City, Arizona over Seattle, Green Bay over Chicago, Atlanta over Tampa Bay, Pittsburgh over Indianapolis, and Dallas over Washington. That about does it for now. Look for another update tomorrow with my game day injury updates, updated 9 a.m. through kickoff on my website, KandiKushModel.com. And also don't forget I'm going to be starting a